Welcome back in to another installment of the 94 podcast, live from Brooklyn Park, right here in the CCX studios. I'm Brooke Edel, and I'm joined here with my co-host, Jim Bushy. This is none other than the 94 podcast. Welcome back in to another installment of the 94 podcast. Jim, there's been a lot that has transpired in the last few weeks. We've crowned two champions, both in the NBA and the NHL. First, it was the New York Knicks, ending a 50-year drought. 53 years. 1973, the last time the Knicks were known as world champions. They did it once again in San Antonio, disposing of the San Antonio Spurs in 5 games. Knicks in 5 was ringing through the Frost Bank Arena in San Antonio. The party started in Texas, and it made its way all the way to New York for Thursday, where they had their championship parade. And of course, New York didn't disappoint. There was lots of news, lots of captured moments, a lot of raw, uncut moments. Even a gentleman got to the point where he had a woman's like toes in his mouth. That's New York. New York's just a different breed. New York, yeah. New York's just a different breed. So Jim, and we had the Carolina Hurricanes. I think they have their parade.
Yep, they had their parade today. 20 years since they won it last.
20 years last, and then their head coach was part of that Hurricanes team 20 years ago as a player. So he won it both as a player with the organization and now as a coach.
That's wild.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wild, and if you look at the look at this postseason for both NHL and NBA, they almost kind of mirrored each other. The conference finals, one team swept out, the other team had to go on. And they both won it on the road. They both snapped multi-year droughts since the last winning the last championship. It was fun. It was a fun watch, but it was not fun being here at work when they both won the champions. Because my goodness, I got home late both those nights.
Oh, absolutely. The Carolina Hurricanes, let's just break it down for the folks here, Jim. The Carolina Hurricanes in the playoffs had 16 wins, 3 losses, 2 sweeps, won a round in 5, won a round in 6. Captain wearing number 11, won MVP. The New York Knicks in the playoffs, identical, 16 wins, 3 losses, 2 sweeps, won a round in 5, won a round in 6. Well, obviously, one round in 5 was the finals. Captain wearing number 11, won MVP. We can't make this up. It was
just one of those years that just all worked out together.
You can't make this up, right?
No, you can't.
So you got both your MVPs 11. You get these 2 amazing runs because it started with Carolina starting 8-0, back-to-back sweeps in the first 2 rounds. And then in the championship, the Eastern Conference Championship, they got pushed by Montreal, but they were still able to take care of them. They were able to really show they are the team that rose to the occasion. And I think also Stahl had a big part in that, in being able to really elevate his team. And then speak of the goaltending, Jim. Like, you had injuries, you had drama, you had Anderson go down, you got Bussy that was able to step up in the clutch, and he ends the Stanley Cup drought with a shutout. That's a shutout. Like, that man, Brandon Bussy, is about to get paid this summer.
Oh, definitely. And they have 2 good goaltenders behind Freddie Anderson, who was hurt. Freddie won 14 of those games, and it was just not willing to able to go, and Bussey's just stepped up, and he stepped up, and he got the win. He's going to get paid, and since I think he's a UFA this season, so he'll probably end up walking. So it's probably going to be Bussey and their other Petrov is their third goalie, so that's going to be the plan for them.
Do your Rangers maybe take a look at him?
No, maybe as a backup, but not your starter.
Okay. But you would take him as a backup?
You take him as a backup.
Okay. He'd be a good plan B.
Yes, but I mean that's all fun. But my goodness, the next run, my goodness, the hand of New York.
The hand of New York with OG Anunoby, yeah.
The multiple comebacks in the games. My goodness, that was a wild series to
roller coaster.
Not only,
yeah, they led only 20% of the minutes in the finals.
Oh yeah, it was
we'll never see this again, right. It's one of those special teams where also the bench, they were able to play key moments with Alvarado playing key moments in that Game 4 comeback, hitting big threes, stealing the ball, really forcing the issue with San Antonio Spurs, where the Spurs were not really good in those crunch minutes, where it really counted, where you really had the entire you had all the chips in the middle, and the Spurs knew that it was winning time. Spurs couldn't come up with those plays. De'Aaron Fox had played a lot of time, more time than I expected. I thought Dylan Harper was going to get a little bit more run with Stephon Castle. I thought they were going to play them a little bit more. And Mitch Johnson, first time coach in the finals. You also had Mike Brown, who's been in the finals with the Golden State Warriors, the San Antonio Spurs. He has the championship pedigree. He's won championships. He's played, or he's had his players play in one of the biggest games, like Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, Tim Duncan, David Robinson. So you had Greg Popovich as his mentor, who gave him a shot. He bounced around a couple different teams. I mean, he was the head coach with LeBron in Cleveland. He won a couple MVPs. Mike Brown has been around the block, but then he got his opportunity when Tom Thibodeau was let go, and the pressure was on. It was like, you better make the finals with this team, otherwise you might be on the chopping block, right? That's how aggressive the Knicks ownership and the front office was really looking at. Leon Rose, who is a player's agent, now at front office GM and vice president of operations with the New York Knicks, he really formed the right formula with this team, and he got them the right coach to let them really optimize their play on the court. And you got to see that with tough defense. They won the NBA Cup, and I know a lot of people don't really care about the NBA Cup, but it showed that they had the championship fortitude to really lock in a tournament like knockout style. And the Knicks were able to be the last team standing also. So they take two pieces of hardware in 2025, 2026, and they will be known as the championship Knicks. And it's a Knicks summer officially in New York.
Oh, yes. Next summer is going to be blue and orange the whole time.
Blue and orange skies, right.
Hey, I don't watch basketball. Skies. I watched some of the games. They look dominant. They were a dominant team to get it all the way through. Wemby, he wasn't there.
He wasn't.
And I think that was a big key for San Antonio. Like, you don't have your top stars playing. You don't have your top stars getting your points. You don't have the person who is the top guy there. So, I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
Okay, so bringing it back, can both of these teams repeat? Or do you think the NBA streak will continue, and do you think the NHL streak will continue of no repeats?
Knicks can repeat. Carolina's going to be tough.
Who's your early pick for the NHL for next year?
I'm going to have to give it to Colorado versus Montreal. I think Montreal has a good chance.
Okay, so you got Colorado clawing back to the Stanley Cup and Montreal making a run in the East.
Yes.
Okay. NBA, I think the Pacers are going to be in that conversation. Now you got Tyrese Halliburton coming back healthy. We'll see. We'll see with that team. You also have the Celtics. I think Celtics are a team to definitely watch in the East, knowing that, Jaylen Brown might not be there. There might be some moves coming up. In the West, you can't discount OKC. OKC is always going to be in the conversation. San Antonio is just getting started with their young core. They made their finals run. You got Minnesota. You also have LA. It'll be interesting what they do with LeBron. See what happens with AR-15 with Austin Reeves. Whether he's going to get that max deal or is he moving on? Is he potentially moving? Is he possibly joining the Las Vegas team? That would definitely be like, hey, if you want to make that splash, and LA maybe not the place, or maybe they just want to go with Luka and they don't want to spend the money on Austin Reeves, because Austin Reeves, he's earned that contract, so someone's gonna pay him. Is it gonna be Vegas? Is it gonna be Seattle, because Seattle's getting a team back? So those are some things, and then also knowing that like the NBA is possibly realigning. You could have Memphis and Minnesota realigning to the East, the Eastern Conference. But that's a couple years away. Let's reel it back in. The teams that I'm seeing for the West, like I said, OKC. Also, you got to consider Denver with Jokic. Dallas, if they can get healthy, and maybe add a star, because Cooper Flag and Kyrie Irving, they traded away Anthony Davis. Maybe they trade for Ace Bailey. That could possibly be a spot for Ace Bailey to go land in Dallas. That could be a spot if he is able to get matched up with a young star in Cooper Flag. Again, these are just things where I feel like if they're able to make that move, they could be a contender. Because I don't see a way for the Western Conference is not going to get any easier. There's so many, and Portland is just getting good too. Portland made an interesting choice though in this offseason. They let Thiago Splitter sign with the Chicago Bulls, and he left Portland as their interim head coach. And now Portland is a question mark because Chauncey Billups is that still head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, because we don't know with that ongoing investigation with the feds really on what type of gambling ring was he a part of.
I mean, yeah, just gotta wait and see. You got a lot of good teams out west, and hey, maybe we'll see a new team this year. It's gotta be all wait and see.
For sure. Let's get to a topic that I want to chat with you about, Jim. And I want to talk about the rising stars and key players that are poised for breakout campaigns that could completely shift their franchise fortune. Number one, let's talk about Travis Hunter of the Jacksonville Jaguars. After his historic two-way start was cut short by a knee injury, Hunter is transitioning into a full-time cornerback position with some part-time receiver usage. So he's going to be mainly a cornerback, but they're going to have packages for him to come in as a wide receiver. Jacksonville's defense could reach elite status if he locks down opposing wide receiver ones. So that's a weapon that Jacksonville has, where you're going to have a cheat code where you're literally having a quarterback that's a wide receiver, so a sure-handed cornerback that can make a lot of big plays, especially knowing the route tree.
Oh, 100%, because you can use your offensive skills to help you on your defensive skills. So, yeah, they'll help with the elite cornerback he'll be a good receiver, but he'll be an exceptional cornerback. I think that's a big plus for them.
Absolutely. And knowing that he's going to be at a less of a chance of a risk for injury, that he's focusing more on defense now, and he's only going to be in for like red zone or certain packages that are scheduled. So he's going to know when he's going to be going in for those plays on offense.
Yeah, it should be fun to see how they use him this upcoming year.
Absolutely, with Liam Cohen in his year 2 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I feel like the Jaguars feel like they are contenders. Last year, they kind of snuck up on people as a dark horse. Now, they're going to be on everybody's radar. They're not sneaking up on anybody anymore.
No.
Again, real quick with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Bashal Tutin, the explosive sophomore running back, assumes the bell cow role following Travis Etienne's departure to New Orleans. He presents major home run potential for an offense looking to control games. And that's what you want to do with a defense of Jacksonville's caliber. You want to control games. You want to really limit the opportunities for the offense on the other side. Keep them tired on defense. And you're in the Florida heat. That's an advantage.
Oh, 100%. You want to keep the other team tired. That was different sport, but if you're able to keep their offense on the field, they can't get as many substitutions. They're tired. You're running all over them. It's just going to beat them down mentally, physically. That's how you win games. And I think that's a great, having a sophomore rookie, if he can produce, as everyone's saying, they're going to be the team to beat out the AFC South.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely have them as early favorites to repeat as AFC South champions, division champs. So, yeah, Duval is definitely getting a lot of high expectations. Just even in minicamp, before we even hit training camp in late July, the Jacksonville Jaguars are looking very impressive. The New York Giants. Let's talk about the New York Giants and their young player that could really impact the future of their franchise, Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart, despite tough criticisms as a rookie, Dart posted impressive efficiency metrics with an upgraded offensive line, a full season connecting with Malik Nabers and John Harbaugh's staff. He is a primary candidate to elevate the Giants in the NFC. What are your thoughts there?
If he plays not like he's been playing and he stays healthy, he could be a big impact for the Giants. He could help them get the playoffs again. He just needs to be healthy. He plays well. He knows what he's doing. He just needs to stay healthy.
Needs to stay healthy. That is really key, knowing that you have Malik Nabers out there. I think you also have Cam Skadabu scheduled to return at some point in the fall. And you have Tyrone Tracy. And you do have a young core. You also get Odell Beckham Jr. back with the New York Giants. So that'll be interesting to see how he's able to kind of work in that wide receiver room. I believe they also have Slayton coming back. So, yeah, the Giants, following the surge of New York positivity with the New York Knicks, I think this football team needs to take this momentum the right way because all eyes are on New York now going into 100%. The football season. Yeah. Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers and their young star, Christian Watson. Christian Watson secured a 4-year, $110.5 million extension, making it clear Green Bay expects him to be a true wide receiver one. His elite yards per route run metrics point to a massive ceiling if he maintains health and assumes a higher target volume. Let's also talk about year 2 for Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden, with the departures of Romeo Doubs and Dontavian Wicks, Golden is in line to step into a heavy wide receiver 3 role, potentially acting as a major safety blanket for Jordan Love. What is your thoughts on these 2 Packer wide receivers? You also have Jaden Reed.
Matthew Golden just needs to. I think this will be his breakout year. He wasn't really targeted much. He didn't have what everyone was expecting. I think this year is the prove himself year that it wasn't a waste for the Packers to pick him in the first round of the draft 2 years ago. It wasn't a mistake. Yeah, he showed flashes during the season, but he really didn't get his first touchdown pass until the playoffs against the Bears. And Christian Watson, he's now moving up. If he can stay healthy, he could be a big threat for Jordan Love. But it's all about staying healthy for him. Once you have one injury, and you keep doing the same thing, you're probably going to get hurt again. And that's the problem with sports, is the repetitiveness of it can really affect your body, and especially if you get hurt. But he needs to do good, and hopefully he can stick around full season, and Packers can take it to the Bears.
I'm sure the folks over at Curly Lambeau Way want to hear Jordan Love's name in the starting lineup every single game, because you don't have Malik Willis anymore. You don't have that security blanket. Jeff Hafley, he nabbed him. He's in Miami now. They're chilling the South Beach. They're with the Dolphins. Your backup now is not going to be the same plan B that you had. The Packers really need to focus on health, because that has been an issue. You know that right now you're dealing with an unfortunate situation with Jacobs, where right now you don't know when he will return. You're expecting some type of disciplinary action that's coming out, but again, it's so early right now in the situation where you can't really comment on it. I know a lot of folks know that this division is just going to be so tough, but knowing that if both Golden and Watson are able to be consistent, I think it gives the Packers maybe a ceiling of about like 11 wins, a floor of about like 9 wins. That's where I'm kind of looking at these 2 projections. Both high and low, I got them at 11 for the high, 9 for the low, just for the overall talent. Because the thing with Josh Jacobs, you can't control the game the way that you need to control the game, because defense is not really the strong suit, especially now that you're starting over with a brand new defense now. And again, Micah Parsons, we don't know how healthy he will be by the time he comes back to the Packers, because that's a big question mark.
Yes, it is, and only time will tell when he can come. Well, he'll come back. It's looking like middle of the season, but we'll see.
Right. A lot of questions for LaFleur to answer. Number one, Chicago Bears. I think that's going to be a huge deal. You get week 1 with the Vikings. The division is really going to be tough, and I think that's going to be the expectations for the Packers to get off to a fast start, because you don't want to be sitting after 5 weeks 2-3 and hoping to catch fire before Thanksgiving. By the time Thanksgiving rolls around, you should be worrying about playoff seeding. You shouldn't be worrying about your team actually qualifying for the playoffs. So that's where I have the Packers, because those 2 key components, Christian Watson and Matthew Golden, that's going to open up a lot of playmaking ability for Jordan Love. Titans. Let's focus on the Titans real quick. We got about 5 minutes to go. Let's talk about the young star in Tennessee. One young Cameron Ward. Cam Ward in Tennessee, entering his second season under new offensive coordinator Brian Daboll. Remember that name? Did that name kind of ring a bell? Yeah, Josh Allen, right? Won MVP, right. With a reloaded receiving options like Carnell Tate and Wan'Dale Robinson coming over from New York. The tools are finally in place for this raw talent to translate into consistent production. So, Cam Ward, can we expect a big splash year for Cam Ward with the Tennessee Titans?
I would say, yeah. I mean, you finally have your feet wet while playing. You look good down the stretch of the season. Now you have a new head coach and a new coordinator. You have the guy who's been taking Josh Allen to better, and you have a good receiving. I think if he doesn't go off this year and at least bring them to the playoffs, I think you're at a point where it's like, okay, time for this experience because you have everything to you. Like, don't be a flop. We need you to be not a Drake May, not a
a savior, essentially a savior of the franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to play your role. You need to at least get us to the playoffs. A wild card at the worst, right? You hope for a division, but you're in a tough division with the Jaguars, and we were talking about the Jaguars earlier. You hope for Tennessee that they're able to maybe climb up to that 8-9 range for wins and potentially sneak in as a wild card, as a dark horse team. I don't know. It all comes back to Robert Saleh. He has the entire. Well, you should see their coaching staff. It's a bunch of bald-headed dudes. Like, he is like the bald army. It's Brian Daboll being his offensive coordinator, and Robert Saleh. That's going to be a force to be reckoned with because you're getting that 49ers defense in Tennessee. Rebranded for it's going to be the Smashville defense.
It's going to be fun to watch.
It's going to be good to watch. It's going to be fun to watch. I think Justin Simmons, their main anchor on defense. We'll see how Tennessee shapes up, especially with Cam Ward being the number one pick back in Green Bay. We'll see how he's able to really elevate his game. Los Angeles Chargers, Omarion Hampton. We got 2 minutes left. We're wrapping up here. Omarion Hampton rushed for 545 yards in just 9 games as a rookie, despite a struggling offensive line with the unit upgraded and heavy involvement in coordinators Mike McDaniel's scheme. He's a major breakout threat in the backfield. Those are the key ones that we're looking at. What do you think of Omarion Hampton being in the offense with Justin Herbert?
I mean, it's going to be a big upgrade, take some pressure off Herbert, and if he can continue to do this, I mean, he could be one of the best. But you guys got to wait and see. Hopefully he can continue to do what he does.
Absolutely. The other name I think that is going to be a breakout too is, I believe, Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's due for a breakout year.
He is. It just needs to have a quarterback to find him.
Right. Real quick, with the Atlanta Falcons, Xavier Watts, an all-pro safety. So he could be in for a major year with Atlanta. Baltimore with Malachi Starks, again, drafted in that Green Bay draft in 2025. So a lot of these sophomores that are coming in for big seasons. Buffalo Bills tight end Jackson Hawes. He could potentially be in for a big season with Josh Allen, year 2. Carolina Panthers wide receiver Jalen Coker. And then wrapping up with the Chicago Bears with Luther Burden III. So I think that's going to be huge. If Ben Johnson is already buying stock in Luther Burden III, I think a lot of NFL and fantasy owners should also be considering Luther Burden III as maybe a dark horse option in your leagues coming up. But
100%.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, just 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but we're just going to be wrapping up here on the 94 podcast. We're going to be picking it up because I know there's a lot of World Cup action. You know, got Messi with hat tricks in Kansas City at Arrowhead. You got Mbappe scoring 2 goals. You got Holland also scoring 2 goals. Big time matchup, I know, with Cristiano Ronaldo going up against the DR Congo. So they had a draw 1-1. Spain had 0-0 with Cabo Verde. So there's been a lot of upsets. There's also been domination by the U.S. 2 wins now for the Team USA. They took care of the Aussies. Oi, 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 USA. On home soil in Seattle, they were able to defeat them 2-0. So big ups to Christian Pulisic, Balogun as well. Major games from Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie. They advanced to the knockout round. So that's, thumbs up. You get to that same point that you were in the last World Cup 4 years ago in Qatar. Now it comes down to, can your team advance when it counts the most?
Yep, that's all that matters, and hopefully they have a good team to continue to move on in the knockout round.
Absolutely. Mexico also moved on to the knockout round, and I believe Canada will also move on to the knockout round. So it'll be interesting to watch all the host countries as they progress in this tournament, because I know that some games are going to be really symbolic. If there's a game on 4th of July, I don't know if the Team USA is playing on 4th of July, but that'll be really special coming up on the 250th birthday of the nation. So until next time, here on the 94 podcast, USA, USA. We'll see you at the TOP, and we're out.